Okay guys, so here you see my two dogs. This is Charlie, and she's just under 8 pounds. And then this is Little Moose. She's 2.3 pounds. So to kind of give you an idea what kind of a dog, what size dog would fit in here, okay, that's why I gave dimensions for the bottom, because that's kind of important. And so these fit in here just fine. Charlie, sit down there. Now I paid $137.99, and I got this off of Amazon, and it looked to be a fairly nice unit. Price was decent, somewhat lightweight, and so I thought I would give this thing a try. This is what they're showing on their site here as to the dimensions. And a close-up of the leg. Now in this video, guys, what I want to show is I want to review the tub unit, and I also want to show two modifications that I made to it and do a demonstration. I gotta say I was very happy with the way this was shipped. It came in that big huge box, had a very heavy mill plastic bag around the tub unit itself. Then inside the tub unit was that smaller box, and again a very heavy box that had your leg pieces and every other accessory needed to put this together. So did a very good job of getting this to me in good condition, packaged well. You'd really have to work at it to damage this. Now to ensure that the legs weren't all damaged, each leg, every part of the leg, cross members, had this nice styrofoam around it. So they did take care to get this to the customer in good order. Alright guys, you do get directions, and they came in this nice heavy, really a heavy mill bag, which I appreciated because they weren't all beat to hell. Sometimes, you know, you get directions and they're all beat up. In this case, it worked out great, and gives you a parts list. Make sure that you have everything that's supposed to come with it. Now, I didn't even look at these directions. Pretty clear. Nothing that hard to put together, but I thought I'd show you how I did it, and looks to be a very nice tub. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to put a rail. I'm going to use an actual handle to put on here to hold towels, so that way I've got one immediately available when I want to wipe the dog down. And so I came up with something that I'm going to attach to this. And so this is what I'm going to be using. It's from Moan Home Care Designer Hand Grip, 9-inch. I got this at Lowe's. Supports 250 pounds. Now I actually used this, did a video when I attached one of these to my 175 millimeter refractor telescope from Astrophysics, and it's very heavy. It's almost a 50-pound telescope, and it held it just fine. Works great. So the reason I want to use this is because it's the same color as the tub, and I think it'll match really nice, and rather than using some chrome piece. So now what I've done is I've taken masking tape, because I want to lay this out and I don't want any pencil marks on this. You always want to put something down, masking tape, make all your marks do your drilling, and then when you're done, peel off the masking tape and you have no marks on your whatever you're working on. Alright guys, this was kind of tricky because of all the curved surfaces. This is on an angle, and this is different than that. So I measured in between here, got a center line, and then I kind of laid it out, and then I eyed it up with the center mark of this handle and kind of sat it where I thought and eyed it up to where that lined up with the center here of the unit. And we're going to go ahead and drill it and see what happens. Now these are going to be 3/16. They're 1024 that I'm using, which is 3/16 diameter. I'm going to start out with an 1/8 inch drill bit, then go to a 3/16. Okay, so I've drilled my two 1/8 inch holes. Next I'm going to do my 3/16, and I do that because the 1/8 inch is easier to drill with a small drill point and then go to your larger size. And the plastic is easy to drill. Alright, so I've got these drilled now to 3/16. And now there's no marks on the plastic. Pencil is hell. You will not get it off. I used to be a carpenter. Whenever I measured on something, always anything sensitive to that you don't want pen mark on, always do something like this. And now you'll see all I've got to do is peel this off. There's absolutely no trace of any marks. Look how nice and neat that is. Alright guys, now to attach this handle to the tub, you'll note on this handle each side has two holes. Now when I did this for my astrophysics telescope, it was, like I said, almost a 50-pound optical tube assembly. So I used both holes on each side. Here I'm only using the exterior holes. No need at all for anything more for this. So what we're going to use is we want to have our socket head cap screw 1024 3/16 diameter by 3/4 inches long. Then we're going to have a undersized washer for 3/16 1024 that'll fit inside here. And then we're going to have an oversized fender washer, 3/16, 1 inch diameter, OD, the large diameter. And then we're going to use a small acorn nut to finish this off. And we'll do this to both sides, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, and to tighten up that socket head cap screw, and again, I may have neglected to say it, but they're stainless steel. Stainless steel, important. Use stainless steel, all your fasteners, everything. You'll need a 5/32 Allen wrench. And then I just simply used you could have used a socket, but if you don't have it, you've got a 4 or 6 inch crescent wrench. That'll work just fine. Tighten that down and you're good to go. Now in the limited warranty that comes with this, in the directions, it does say if this product has been modified in any manner required by a different entity other than PawBest or has been exposed to unreasonable use, then warranty is considered void. So again, when you do this, understand that by drilling into this, you've probably voided the warranty, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. So now once you put that on, this is what it'll look from the inside. There's your 3/4 inch socketed cap screw, your small washer. And this is what it looks like from the inside. The reason that I put that acorn nut on there is because it makes, for one, it's the perfect length. It allowed me to tighten it down, but more importantly, you don't have anything rough sticking out for the dog. If the dog bumps into this, it's a smooth. That's what the acorn nut does. So that's why I chose to use this type of an arrangement. And so it works out really great. And there you have it. Next, guys, you want to finish this off with these caps that they give you. And it's very simple. We'll take that, push it in like that, push that in, that finishes that off. Do the same to the other side. If for whatever reason to take it off, you just take a little thin flat blade screwdriver underneath here and pry them up. Alright, so that doesn't look too bad. Now that'll allow me to put my towels on there. They're readily available to wipe the dog down. Also, as I had stated earlier, I like the look of the white. It matches the unit. It looks like it's supposed to be there. So, and the main thing is just do real careful measuring. That's why I said you put your masking tape on there, kind of eye things up, get your center points, because nothing here is mirrored image. Everything is different side to side. And then I measured down 4 inches from this lip. From the lip to the center line is 4 inches. That's where I wanted the handle, 4 inches below this lip right here. Next, guys, I want to put these 3 eye bolts in that is used to anchor your dog so he doesn't jump out. You're going to see there's 2 large washers. Then you're going to see this lock washer and then the nut. What you want to do is you want to make sure there's a large washer up against the eye bolt. Put that through the tub. Put the other large washer to the outside, so you've got 2 large washers up against the plastic. Then you're going to use the lock nut in the order that you see here, and then you're going to tighten it down with the nut. Alright, I've got all 3 on. Next thing I want to do is tighten them down. So I'm going to use a ratchet with a 3/8 inch socket. And then what I always find when working with eye bolts is you can use a screwdriver, a stout screwdriver, and you want to get her lined up the way you want it. And it's easiest to hold it just like this, and that keeps it from rotating. And then just tighten it down like that, and then that eye bolt won't rotate on you, and it's easy to hold because you've got more leverage with the screwdriver. The next thing I want to do is get the legs put together and the feet and all that. And so I took this one cap off. I want to measure this and see what the diameter of this tubing is that they're using. Alright, so using my tube micrometers, I'm getting 35 thousandths, right around 35 thousandths for the wall thickness. Well, you know what, guys, now that I'm going to the next step, putting the legs on, and I look at this, I am shifted a little bit too much to this side. So I'm off, but no big deal. But I wish I was over a little further here, about 3/4 of an inch, to eye that up a little bit better. So anyways, I screwed that up a little bit. I do want to show you, they give you these nice leg levelers. Got rubber on the bottom, so this way you can make sure your tub is leveled and dependent on all 4 legs. Nice feature. Now I'm starting the assembly, and I'm not going to tighten anything down yet. Everything's still loose. I've got my crossbar in here for the side to side, and these fittings are already attached, so you don't have to worry about anything that the legs would attach to. Those come equipped, already attached. It's very simple. Now you do get an Allen wrench to tighten all these Allen heads up, but I'm going to use my own from Bondus. It's a 5mm, but again, like I said, they already supply it, so it doesn't matter. So that's what I'm going to use to tighten all these down. Now to tighten these, what I'm going to do is, as soon as I make contact right there with the surface, it's just touching. Right there, it's just touching, and then I'm going to tighten it down so that just touches the fitting, just like that, not over tightening it. It will cause that to crush a little bit, but that'll be okay. That's how I'm doing mine. Alright, so after I tightened it down at the base, the next thing I tightened down was the bottom braces to the leg. Okay, the long pieces. The short pieces I haven't tightened those yet. So what I did is I measured 4 inches from here to the top of that fitting to that. I measured 4 inches, and then I tightened it down, went around, made sure that they were all 4 inches. And then the next step I'm going to do is tighten these down. I'll push the 2 legs together, tighten them down, and then that'll finish the project. Alright, so after tightening all your legs up, you should have something that looks like this. There's those 3 eye bolts. There's the towel bar / handle that I put on for the towels. Now the next thing that I want to take a look at is, this is going to be, now that we've got the tank completed, it's on its stand, we've got everything done to that point, we need to hook up the drain for the water. Now, this is what they give you. This is like an accordion. I always call it like an accordion. It's collapsible. You can stretch it apart, and which is nice because you can direct it where you want, but I'm not going to use that. So if you know, feel free to do that. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing here, but this is very simple to do, and what I'll show you next is putting this piece on, because even with the changes I'm doing, I've got to have this piece. So we're going to put this piece on the tub, and then what you would do is, if you're going to use this drain, once this is on the tub, then you would just screw this on like this. This would now be your drain. So let's go ahead, mount this up the way it should be, and then I'll show you the modification I'm making for my drain to that would go from here to a drain in my basement, or outside if I was doing it outside. When you take that apart, you're going to have this basket here, this small piece that goes on top. So this would go, if this is your tub, this would be the inside of your tub. This would go on. Then on the bottom of your tub, you would then place this piece up against the bottom of the tub, and then you'd put this bolt through, tighten that down, and then this creates the seal so that water does not leak. So this is what that should look like from the top side, from the inside when you're looking into the tub. Okay, this will be flush right here, and then I just used a number 2 Phillips screwdriver for that through bolt there. And then on the bottom, what you should have, it should look like this, and your gasket is up underneath here, and just tighten that down. Alright, so we've got that. As I stated, I'm not a big fan of this, but what would happen if you're going to use it, you'd put the gasket that they supply with it in here, and you just simply take that and then tighten it down on here like that. Then you can move this and collapse, you know, take this, spread it apart, you know, take it where you want it, and that's your hose, your drain portion. But like I said, I'm going to show you that I'm going to change what goes into this. Now, as you see, the drain tube that is given to you with this unit, the overall length is only approximately 29.5 inches, which would, unless you're sitting right over your drain or very, very close to it, it's going to come up short. And I'm not going to be sitting on top of the drain, so that's why my idea allows me to cut a hose that will be adequate for the distance that I am from my drain in the basement. So I just thought I would bring that out. This thing is extended the whole way. So to accomplish what I want to do, I'm going to use these 3 pieces of PVC fittings and this brass fitting. This is an 1.5" female adapter. It has internal threads, so it goes from 1.5" threads to 1.5" smooth for the pipe. Next thing I'm going to be using is an 1.5" outside diameter here to 1.25" inside bushing. So 1.5" outside, 1.25" inside bushing. That'll go into this. Then this will go into this piece. This now is your 1.25", which is the outside, and it's going to go to 3/4 inch pipe threads right there. That's 3/4 inch pipe threads, in which this 3/4 inch pipe threads, those are pipe threads right there. It's going to go to 5/8 barb. So 5/8 holes will fit on there, and it's a barb fitting. So all 4 of those will go together. Then this will all be one unit. Then this will screw into that piece instead of this. And then I'll just use a piece of 5/8 hose that I have that'll go from here into a drain. And then I can easily just take this off when I'm done each time. And for me, I just find that to be better. Again, I'm just showing you what I did, should you care to, but most people probably won't do that. Now these 3 pieces are getting glued together. So I've got to prep the surfaces for glue. So what I've got here is some PVC cleaner. So, and I've got a bag down here just to keep the concrete from getting. So what I want to do is I'm just going to use this to clean the inside just like this. Just going to go around like this with the cleaner. Okay, that's done. Then we're going to clean the outside of this. And then we're going to go clean that, and it also preps the surface. So both sides of that is done. And then this, I don't know why they put these damn stickers on here like that. Let me try to get that off. This isn't going to be sealing anything, so it's not a major issue. But yeah, let me see if I can get that off with some. Alright guys, so used a little lacquer thinner on that. So let's clean that up like that. Let those dry. And then we're ready for the next step, which is the glue. So I just bought a brand new one here. One thing about when you're using this PVC cement, this all-purpose cement, always get a small container, because if you don't use it a lot, it goes to hell quick. So the one that I had wasn't good, so I threw that out, got a new one. One thing that does help is this little tool here, about $4 or $5, that you can get on here to open it up. Well, hang on a second. There we go. That was on snug. So that helps you open that up, and also in closing it, because you want to make sure that those are tight. But again, don't get a big, don't get anything big, because it won't last long. All right, so I'm going to work quick with this. And then what I'm going to try to do here is wipe this off. that stuff will stick up there. Again, if you're using this day in and day out, it'll last a while, you know, and you'll use it up probably before it goes to hell, but and you're not using it all the time. So just make sure you got that lip cleaned up as good as you can. Put that on, and then maybe just take that tool and just hold it. Give it a little snug. So there we go. So this is what we have. Now let me clean that glue off of here. Got some glue in them threads. That'll be okay. So let that, and that's what we're going to be using right here. That'll screw up into to replace our accordion type unit. This will screw in here. I'm going to put a little bit of, probably wouldn't have to for what I'm doing, but I'm going to put a little bit of nylon tape on there. Tighten that down, and then all I got to do is supply a 5/8 rubber hose. And again, guys, all we're doing is draining this tub. And they do give you a plug they do give you this plug if you want to plug it up, and I guess, and have your dog wash. But even at that, when you pull the plug, water's going to drain fast enough. And I don't plan on using this plug. Mine is just to shower down the dog, and it'll drain just fine with this. So I'm going to put some of this thread sealer tape on here. That. And just take a pair of take a crescent wrench, this isn't going to go in any damn place. There we go. That's it. And this is that thread sealing tape that you can get anywhere, Lowe's, Home Depot. It's a Ptfe thread sealed tape, and it comes in these little, it's 1/2 inches wide by 610 inches long in this roll. So now, guys, all I've got to do is take this, thread it on there like that, and that now, I'm putting my 5/8 hose on there. And what I think I'm going to do is just put the 5/8 hose on here up to like the second barb, and use it when I need it, and then just pull it off. And so now I've got this, and then I can fold up that hose and stick it inside this tub till I need it the next time. And I just, for me, I like this more compact. That other accordion type, maybe over time, and again, I just assume this, I'm not going to say it will, may break or something, but if this is something you choose to do, you can give that a try. If not, the other thing should work out just fine. But I wanted to just give you an alternative of what I was doing. Now here's that drain plug I was talking about. You put that in there like that. If you want to fill this up, and just pull it out. Alright, guys, as a demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with water, because for one, I want to see if it's going to leak around this handle. Shouldn't be a big deal. If it does, I don't think most people are going to go above where I put that handle, but I also want to see how quick this is going to drain with that arrangement that I have. So I put the plug in that you can see down there, and I'll go ahead and fill this thing up. Alright, guys, you can see how much water I've gotten here. It's right up to this level here where that metal pieces that you put like soap or something. So let's see what it looks like with the handle. You can clearly see here that the water level is way up here. There's absolutely no water leaking from that handle. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull the drain plug. And you can see how fast that's draining. So there'll be no issue using that hose to direct the water out with even that much water that no one would ever use to bathe their dog. They'd never go that high. You'll also note that there are no leaks up there where all the fittings come together. So we are good. So I'm going to do this one more time, guys, but I'm going to replace my setup for the drain with the original. And of course, it will drain way faster. But if you're using like a shower head wand to hose the dog down, and you've got the, you don't have it plugged off, there'll be no issues. So as I'm letting this water fill in the tub, you'll see where I've put on the original drain hose. Now the only reason it's dripping like that is because there was still water up in this fitting here, so water is not leaking out of that plug. Alright, so we've got this to about the same approximate as before, and I'll pull that plug and you'll see it goes very quick. But again, if you're using a shower type head and you're washing the dog, you're not going to be putting that much volume in. It will go down fairly quick. And even if you put a little bit of water in there, it's your choice. Now I could have, if I wanted to, gone with a bigger hose, but I elected to do the 5/8 because I got a bunch of 5/8 garden hose. It's flexible. I can cut it to whatever desired length I need for whatever. So let's take a look. Alright guys, to give you kind of an idea what the dimensions at the bottom are, because that's the smallest dimension, we're going to go from this very bottom here, not where it transitions up, but from lengthwise from the widest portion here to here, okay, straight across, we've got 24.5 inches. If we go the short distance, it's 12 inches. So that just gives you an idea, depending on the footprint on the size of your dog. Now if we take a look at the bottom of this tub, it's got dog paw prints. Very cool. All over the very bottom of this tub unit. Also built in, it has areas for your different containers for shampoos and soaps. And that's going to be on the same side as your drain. Here you see a 16 by 26 inch towel that I have on the bar that I installed. This is a 30 by 54 towel. Now in this particular review that this guy did, you'll see here it says the product is very sturdy and well made except for one safety issue. The drain has a very thin and sharp aluminum or stainless steel ring that sits on the inside of the tub, and even after tightening the drain, this ring protrudes about 1/10 of an inch above the floor of the tub. He said he sliced his finger on that razor sharp part. Now mine is not like that, so I'm not sure if the guy put it together wrong or what the deal was, but that is not an issue with this one that I have. Alright, so as can be seen here, this is absolutely below by a strong 1/16 of an inch, if not, it's a strong 1/16. I won't say it's an eighth, but it's definitely no issue. No way that on the unit that I have you would get cut on this. So not quite sure what that gentleman had in his review, if there was an issue with the plastic casting or something, or he put the gasket on the wrong side, but the gasket goes on the bottom side. So just wanted to point that out in case anybody saw that in a review. Another thing I like about this tub unit is the material that it's made out of. You can very easily use a furniture polish to wipe it down and keep it clean. So I'm real happy with this purchase. Seems like it's very well constructed, decently priced, and it's so much easier when you're standing up and you're not using the tub. You're on your knees trying to do it. Yeah, this will be so much nicer to use.